had not printed out my flight ticket. So now we go with my friend to a cyber cafe, because that's what we use in Kenya. If you don't have your own laptop and printer at home, you go to this little cafe and it has the computers and Wi-Fi, and you get to do all your internet stuff there. So I get there, I print out my ticket, and then I still feel sick, and I tell her, oh my gosh, I need to go to a chemist or something, you know, like a pharmacy like Walgreens or Rite Aid, but there they just called chemists. And of course, you know, it has the name of the person who owns the thing. So we go and I get the medicine, and you guys, I throw up like on the floor, and people are just like, whoa, you know, giving me space, wondering what the heck is going on with me. And so after that, I feel good. I don't know what was wrong. Maybe it's something that I ate, maybe it was nerves. So now my friend is like, are you sure? Are you okay? I say, yeah, I'm fine now that I'm, you know, clear. So my friend has to go and I have to go to the airport. So since I realized when I was headed to town and I realized I'm not gonna make it to go home, shower, pack my clothes, and go to the airport, I tell my sister, God bless you, I tell her, please, you guys, let's just meet at the airport with my stuff. And so now I'm in town. There are no matatus, buses to take me to the airport because it's rush hour and all of them are stuck in traffic. I start to panic, so I ask around. This guy is called makangas, this is a guy that when you get inside the bus or matatu, they take your money. You know, you give them the money, the charge to take the trip. So the makangas, they tell me, okay, you take this one, it will get you near to the airport, then you can take another one to take you there. So now I take this a bus, a big bus. Traffic is not moving at all. I have like an hour. I'm just thinking I'm gonna miss this flight, and then I remember what we were taught, that, you know, you have like angels at your disposal, angels guiding and protecting us. And I just start to pray and like whisper under my breath. The whole journey I'm just praying and praying and praying. In that time, you know, the traffic is not moving. I just keep praying and praying. I don't know who I talked to when I was on the bus, and I told them I'm leaving, and they just give me encouragement. And then I remember, oh, there are some people I haven't talked to yet. So I called my friend Kasika, I called you, and I was just like, you know how I told you I'm going to the US? She's like, are you going now? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, girl, how did you not tell me this? And so she says she has a gift for me, and I should come get it when I come back. Then I talk to my auntie and I tell her bye. And by this time, you know, I'm whispering because I don't want people to hear. So now I keep asking the makanga, are we close? Are we close? And then he tells me, okay, you need to get off here. Mind you, where he tells me, it's the middle of nowhere. I have never been there before. It's dark. I'm just like, Jesus. Okay, so now I'm just lost. I don't know which direction to go. The good thing about matatus back home is you know, just like any bus system, I guess. If you got off over here, then you obviously know the matatus on the opposite side of the road are gonna take you to the right direction, if that makes sense. So now I cross the road, and I see a motorcycle, because in Kenya, you know, people also use motorcycles to travel. Motorcycles back home are not like a luxurious thing, they are for transportation, dear husband. So anyway, I get onto this motorcycle. Mind you, this guy could have been a crook, he could have been some crazy person. And then I tell him, could you please take me to the airport? And he's like, okay, I'll take you. And I tell him, and you need to like rush because I'm literally running late. And he's like, okay. So I had a paper bag with me, and it had braids, extensions, that my mom wanted me to bring to my sister. You guys, I'm going to America, and here I am on a motorcycle taking me to the airport, and it's like speeding. So I tell this guy my story, like how everything happened that day, and he said, wow, I think you're gonna accomplish something so great, and the devil is trying so hard to make sure you don't get to the airport. And I was like, wow, I trust that. And we get to the airport, get to the gate to the airport, and they tell the guy, you can't take her in, she has to get in by herself, which I did not know about that. So I get off the motorcycle, I go through like a security check, a minor security check, and then I walk all the way to the gate of where I'm supposed to be. When I get there, I meet my Bible study leader. He was escorting his nephew, I think, also to the airport, so it was really cool. And then like 5 minutes later, my family arrives. They were really pissed off at me. But imagine, you guys, I got to the door, I hugged my dad, my brother, my sister, and then I have to go. Like, there was no time for talking, whatever, I had to go. So I get in there. That's my first time in an airport, and I'm dragging my bags. I check in smoothly, then I just sit down. Then I look at like the information, and I'm like, oh man, I'm supposed to be somewhere else. So I ask around, and that's always a good thing. If you're lost, please don't be prideful, ask questions. So I have like my guitar, my 2 suitcases have been checked in. You should have seen me when I don't think I even have pictures of how I looked like on that day. I was just, I had this leather jacket and a sweater and like my jeans. I wish I had known you should not wear those when you're traveling. You need something comfortable like fleece, cotton. You need like warm stuff, because when you get onto that plane, it's freaking cold. I get into the waiting place, and then I call the friend who had hosted the farewell party for me that day, and I tell her that I got there safely. Then I wait for like a few minutes, and it's time to get onto the plane. So we get to this place, the boarding gate, and I'm looking at this plane like, whoa, I have never seen something so huge. I had never been in an airplane before 2015. The only planes that I saw were those in the sky. I never saw them like so much closer, and I was so amazed. So anyway, I get onto this plane, and I sit next to these 2 boys, and our first stop was gonna be Dubai. And I remember, I know nothing about planes and the etiquette and all that. So now I'm seated next to these 2 boys. They clearly have traveled before because they know how to operate the TV. I asked them so many questions, and back they're like, and these boys are like 5 and 4 or something. And so I just, I say, you know what, I'm not gonna die if I don't watch a movie, because the flight to Dubai was 4 hours. Takeoff is scary, landing is scary, still is even now. And we get to Dubai, and I meet this Ugandan lady. She's going to Uganda to her daughter's wedding, and she kind of really helped me around, helped me to know where to go and stuff. And then we had this meal voucher, so I went to McDonald's, and I remember thinking, wow, their fries are so tiny, and I still think that, by the way. But anyway, I don't want to miss my flight, so I go sit like right next to the place where you are supposed to check in, because I'm like, I'm not trying to get lost. So when the time comes closer, I go to the desk and I ask the people, I don't know what I ask them. They look at me and they're like, are you yourself? And I'm like, yeah. How old are you? And I say I'm 21. They don't believe it, because I look 16. I've always looked younger than I actually am. So they just tell me, you just wait over here, you're good, just don't go anywhere. And so I wait until the time for boarding, and I get into the next plane to Seattle, Washington. And the plane ride to Seattle was like 14 hours, you guys. Yani, you sit, you stand, you walk, you sleep. Me, I thought I'm gonna watch like 5 movies because I like watching movies. Yeah, did not happen. I was so tired. I kept looking at that little screen to see how far I am. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're like 13 hours, 12, 10, 9, 8. Woo, I was exhausted. My legs are swollen. I got like a cold. Yeah, I think that's why I had thrown up earlier. So that trip from Nairobi to Seattle takes 2 days. Yeah, up to this day, I cannot believe that I traveled by myself. And yet it was my first time to be in any plane, and now I'm traveling internationally, you know. But I just remember being on that plane and just marveling and thinking, wow, I never saw this coming ever, and you know, God had done it. So I will stop now, and there will be a part 2, which will be my impression of America when I landed. Okay.